Welcome to London Heathrow Airport. Many of us are travelling again, and airports, just like Heathrow, are welcoming back passengers in their thousands. In this week's show, Paul and I will guide you to every corner of the UK. We also speak to a driver of luxurious leisure trains, and I whip up something in the kitchen inspired by one country, the UK. Paul's been under the weather, and he's staying behind the scenes this week, although he will pop up here and there. So let's get started. We kick things off with somewhere close to my heart. I was born in Northern Ireland and still think of it fondly. Take a look. Northern Ireland is the smallest country of the United Kingdom, both by population and land mass, boasting miles of scenic coastline, the historic Glens of Antrim and Giant's Causeway, plus the largest lake by area in the British Isles in the form of Lough Neagh. It has something for everyone. No visit to the province is complete without a trip to the Titanic quarter of capital city Belfast. It is situated on the site of the Harland and Wolff shipyard, where the Titanic ocean liner was built, and traces the history of the ill-fated unsinkable ship, as well as the city's long maritime history. But if you fancy going off the beaten track, head north. The market town of Ballymoney is home to the legendary Dunlop family of world champion motorcyclists. A memorial garden is dedicated to brothers Joey and Robert, who both sadly lost their lives for their sport. Robert's son William also died as a result of a racing accident. The name continues to dominate motorcycling today as William's brother Michael competes at events around the world. Just off the coast of Ballycastle lies Rathlin Island. The only populated offshore island in Northern Ireland, a small ferry transports passengers and cars across the often choppy waters to the idyllic spot. A haven for nature lovers, Rathlin is home to seals and seabirds including puffins. The lush farmland is also perfect for the many cows and sheep you are sure to encounter on your journey. Heathrow is celebrating its 75th birthday this year. One of its most popular destinations is Scotland. So let's fly up to Glasgow and see where the high road or low road takes us.
A trip to any part of Scotland will never disappoint. Wherever the saltaire flutters, you are sure to be near idyllic scenery, a castle, or maybe even hear a traditional piper. Our first leg takes us from Glasgow to the Isle of Skye. You can drive there as the Skye Bridge connects the island to the mainland. Sheep roam freely on rocky hills. The main town of Portree is famous for its cute little harbour and brightly coloured houses. Whiskey lovers should check out the Talisker Distillery. I know I did. Skye's rugged scenery and wide expanses take your breath away. Heading south again, stop off at the tranquil town of Luss on the shores of Loch Lomond. Perfect for a day trip or a weekend getaway, Luss was also the setting of the long-running soap opera Take the High Road.
We're heading south and west for our next films. Cornwall is one of our favourite places. We'll let you see why in a moment. But first up, let's head to Wales and Barry Island. Just over 10 miles south of Cardiff lies the seaside resort of Barry Island. With its own dedicated train station, getting to the peninsula on the southeast corner of Wales couldn't be easier. A beautiful beach, amusement arcades and fish and chip shops make Barry Island the perfect destination for a day trip or weekend break. Fans of Gavin and Stacey will recognise many areas of the town used for filming the series. There is, of course, much more to Wales. Cardiff Castle will pique the interest of history buffs, while the energetic can head to Snowdonia National Park and climb Snowdon, the highest mountain in Wales.
Cornwall forms a peninsula and is located on the southwestern tip of England. You can travel to the county from London with the Night Riviera, which runs from Paddington Station to Penzance. Cornwall is famous for its picturesque beaches, fishing, and scones. Malzo is a scenic village. You might run into a mouse or even a cat. St. Ives is renowned for its independent boutiques and thriving art scene. You can check out what is hip and trendy at the Tate. St. Michael's Mount is a tidal island in Mounts Bay. On a good day and low tide, you may reach St. Michael's Mount by foot. Otherwise, you can reach the mount by boat when the tide is in. But beware, there is no access on windy days. Why not make Penzance your base? It will get you to all these lovely tranquil places. No matter where your journey takes you, hold on to your ice cream and fish and chips tightly. Otherwise, you might become a victim to the scrounging seagull.
Many of us will be using airports such as Heathrow to get away, but what about travelling by train? I caught up with one driver who firmly believes it's full steam ahead. So, Peter, thanks for joining us today. And
Pleasure.
Obviously, things have changed a lot in the last year in the travel industry. People are starting to travel around the UK and Europe a bit now. And so tell us a bit about your job, who you work for, what you do.
Yeah, I work for mostly for a company called Locomotive Services Limited, and we provide locomotives and steam engines and coaches and rolling stock, etc., for four companies now. One's called Statesman Rail, which is www.statesman, all one word, rail.co.uk, I think. The other one is Saphos, Saphos. There is also the Midland Pullman, which is the new high-speed train Blue Pullman service. And there is also Intercity one as well, which I'm not 100% sure of the website because I don't really get involved with that currently. Statesman Rail, they do diesel-hauled heritage locomotives, diesel-hauled heritage stock, carriages and things. And the Saphos is the steam locomotive hauled, and the HST, and the other one is the other Intercity. They use Class 90s, which are the electrics and things like that. And we do luxury charter trains around the country, basically.
So give us an example maybe of like one or two of the trips or the routes that you might do.
Yeah, we've got a season coming up which is based from Bristol, basically. So it's mainly in June at the moment, and we go from Bristol down to Paignton and Kingswear, so down to the West Country, mainly steam pulled, and then there's other trips to Wales, and to the north there's one to Ayr in Scotland. Well, from Ayr through to York, I believe. And that's the HST Pullman service. They go all over the country. We go. I know there's some that goes from Ely in
Cambridgeshire.
Cambridgeshire. That's it. And there are some go to Scotland. They do. Most of them are day trips, but they do occasionally 3-day trips, mainly to Scotland or down to the West Country.
Okay.
Some way.
So what can people expect while they're on board?
Yeah, there's 3 different. Well, on Saphos and Statesman Rail, there's 3 different categories of coach that you can go in, basically, ranging from what would you call? I don't know what it's called. It's called economy. I think, which is basically they're nice seats, old-fashioned coaches and things, nice seats, but there's no free service. There's a cafe or a restaurant on board, and bar and things. You can buy things such as sandwiches, cakes, etc., and drinks. Then there's the next class up, which is first class, which you generally get like a box of sandwiches and cakes and some drink, and then you can buy extra on top of that, and the seating's a bit more comfortable. And then most of the train is made up of what they call premier dining, which is a full silver service 4-star service, and you get breakfast, some lunch, and obviously a 4-course dinner with champagne, I believe, and it's all very nice. And you can add to that, you can buy as much wine and champagne as you want. I think that tends to be, quite expensive. Around, on average, around £300 per person, but which sounds expensive. But when you think what's involved in the background to all these trains, for example, you've got the maintenance, the engineering staff to keep all the things working. You've got all the cleaners, all the people that provide all the onboard service, the guard, the driver. It's logistically, it's an amazing. And
I suppose they're all heritage type trains now. It's not the sort
Yeah.
of rolling stock that you're going to find on your normal commuter service today.
No, there's three types of carriages they use: class 1, class 2, and class 3. And basically, it depends from, I'm not sure of the dates, but they go back from years back, you know. And that the new high-speed service is one of the old 125 high-speed trains that recently was working on the Midland Main Line or the East Coast Main Line.
Yes, because I just read the other day that East Midlands Railway, I think they were saying goodbye to the 125, weren't they?
Yeah, that's right. I think we've actually, my company bought 6 or 7 of them now, actually. One of them has been made into this blue Pullman, which is basically painted blue and white,
right.
And it's all leather seats, first class inside, and it's slightly different, a sort of a modern version of the old heritage stock, really. But it's quite nice. And there's also another set that I believe is painted green, but I'm not involved with it. But have you heard of Staycation Express?
No, I have now.
Yeah, it's the thing they're doing they did it last summer from Skipton over the Settle and Carlisle line.
Okay.
And they're doing it again this summer, but with one of these HST sets, which, as I say, has been repainted and branded for that.
So have you found that in this sort of like the new normal that we are now, some people, you know, not everyone's going to want to sort of venture out too far too quickly, but has there been like a good take up of booking so far?
Yeah, they're pretty full, actually. Most of them are full, to be quite honest. Well, for the next couple of months anyway. But they're only full into the government COVID restrictions, so with reduced capacity.
Yeah.
For what would be normal. I don't know what the normality is, but say you've got 400 normally in a carriage, you might only have 200 or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's all very safe in that sense, and the most of the clientele that go on these trips will have had both vaccines anyway.
As a driver, do you get to enjoy any of the experience, or is it all just work?
No, it's all work, and I don't really have anything to do with anything in the coaches, to be quite honest. Often my job would involve, say, going in really early on the day of the trip into the depot at Crewe, where the set's already made up. So you just start the engine, start the procedure of getting the train ready, and then you would leave with the empty coaching stock from the depot through Crewe to wherever it's going in the country, and then you pick up the passengers. And obviously, if that's part of your job to continue doing that, you then just take them wherever they're scheduled to go, and then you get off at a certain point. And when the next driver that comes along takes over, and you go home.
So how does this current job compare with your previous driving positions because I think the last number of years you've been driving freight trains, so it's a bit different. It
is a bit different. At least I'm not having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning every day to go to work or doing constant night shifts. But I sort of semi-retired from my job as a freight driver back in October 2019. With a view to, lying on a sunny beach in a tropical island. And then came COVID, unfortunately, and it all went to pot. But luckily, through various connections, I managed to get this current job. And it's great because I'm driving old heritage locomotives, class 37s, 47s, the high-speed train and various other things. And it's a different kind of engine to the old class 66s, the freight trains that we used to drive. In the class 60s, they're a lot more heavier, bulkier, more. There's computer technology in them, where there's none of that in the old tractions. But yes, I'm enjoying it. And I get to In fact, when I did the high-speed train for the Midland Pullman, because I was the first driver to take it out of St Pancras in mid-December on its inaugural journey, that train can do up to 125 miles an hour, and normally I'm used to doing 60 mile an hour, so I got a nosebleed when I went over that. Well, not quite. I think I managed to get to 110 up the main line, but that was fast enough. So,
Well, Paul and I do hope to join you on one of your journeys, a great British railway journey, someday soon.
Me too. I hope to join you too on the same train.
Who's going to be driving the train?
No, not me. Plenty of people that can do that. So.
Well, Peter, it's been fantastic having you on the show today. And as I say, we'll look forward to joining you on a trip sometime, and just remind us of where people can go for information again.
Yes, the 3 websites that I know of is they're all www, obviously, and then Statesman, which is STATESMANRAIL.com. So statesmanrail.com. There is also Saphos Rail, which is SAPHOSTRAINS.com, saphostrains.com. And the other one I know is Midland Pullman. So it's Midland Pullman, which is all one word, .com. And then there's the intercity ones as well, but I'm afraid I don't know the website for that. So you'd have to go to Statesman Rail. They might be on there, or you just
might be a link on there. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, well, safe travels across the country, and let's hope it's a great summer ahead. Full steam ahead.
Yes, I'm hoping I'll be warm soon. So, thanks for inviting me on, and good luck with the channel.
Thank you.
Take care.
From Scottish haggis to English fish and chips and an Ulster fry, the UK offers a diverse menu of food. I tried my hand at a dish I've never had before, Welsh rarebit. Take a look. So today we're making a Welsh delicacy. It's something that I've heard so much about in the past that I thought it was about time I gave it a go. It is, of course, Welsh rabbit.
Don't you mean rarebit?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is rarebit. Sorry. You're excused again. Welsh rarebit. I think originally it was called Welsh rabbit, but these days it is Welsh rarebit. And what it is basically Welsh cheese on toast. So what we need is 25 grams of butter, 375 grams of mature cheese, probably cheddar is ideal for that, and 3 slices of bread per person. So there's 2 of us here. I'm doing the cooking today, so that's 6 slices of pre-toasted bread. So let's get over to the hob and see what we do. So the butter is melting down, and I'm now going to add the cheese into the pan as well. Maybe turn up the heat a little bit, and we'll continue stirring round the cheese and butter mixture until it has all nicely melted. So once your mixture has melted down to this amount, we want to add in 100 mils of milk. Now you can also use beer. It depends on your preference entirely. And we want 1 teaspoonful of English mustard. It should be Welsh mustard, really, shouldn't it? There we go. Just turn the heat down ever so slightly. Keep stirring. And we'll add some pepper. Add a little bit of salt. Well, it's coming along nicely. Keep stirring until everything has come together. It's not going to be too runny. It's kind of I suppose, a globby sort of mixture, and that is exactly what we want. So I've melted the butter, the cheese and everything together. Now I'm going to take my slices of bread, and you want 3 slices each per person, and just set it onto a parchment paper like this. And then what we do, we get our lovely mixture of cheese and everything, and I'm literally going to pour it over the top. Oh yes, that's lovely. Over the top, encasing the bread just like that. Just spoon it over a little bit. And then all we're going to do, we're just going to pop it into the oven for 6 minutes under the grill, and it should all come out lovely and toasty warm. So we're going to set it into the top of the grill, and like that. Set it to grill for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. Oh yes, I can't wait till this comes out. Wow, 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 look at this. Look at this. Even bunnies come out for something. Welsh rarebit. Basically, it is cheesy toast, toasted cheese, and I think, you know, it calls for a beer. Oh yeah. So we'll enjoy that. You could serve it on its own, or perhaps with, you know, something else that you've cooked up earlier, some sort of extra sauce, meaty mixture, bolognese perhaps. That sounds like a good one. So I'll just say cheers, and happy St David's Day to anyone in Wales, whenever that may be. Who knows? I don't. I know when St Patrick's Day is. Delicious. Well, that's it from Heathrow Airport. I missed Paul on my journey this week, but fear not, he'll be back next week. Until then, happy travels and bye for now. So, where should I go?